Dear one, in this video, I explained to you in a really easy to understand way what is non-duality, or in the Sanskrit terms, Advaita Vedanta. The ancient scripture that I use as reference here is called the 𝗃 I will refer back to this. So what is non-duality? It is the ability to discriminate between what appears to be real and what is actually real. The ability to discriminate between the seer and the seen, the knower and the known. Sometimes there are a lot of things appearing to be real, but that does not mean that it has its own existence. It requires a substance. For example, a clay pot appears to be real, but it still needs the clay to exist. Without the clay, there is no pot. In the same term, this body appears to be real, but without the substance, it is not really real. So how does this happen? How does this confusion happen? By noticing what is changing and what is not changing, we are able to discriminate between these. Shapes, forms, and colors are observed by the eye, which means the eye is the observer. But that eye can still be observed, which means the mind then becomes the observer. And yet the mind goes through modifications too, so there is something that witnesses the mind. But that witness, that observer, cannot be observed. You see, the observed is a variable. There are many different things and types that can go through modification. But the observer is one. It is also different because you are not what is observed. You see this video, but you are not this video. The seer, the eyes, the variable, and the forms are seen. Now I invite you to close your eyes. Move them behind closed eyelids. And notice that the eyes can still go through modifications. It can change. Are your eyes now the observer or the observed? The object or the subject? They are the observed, the object. Then who is now the observer of the eyes? It is the mind. Now take a deep breath in, keeping your eyes closed. What thoughts are present and alive for you in this moment? Simply notice the thought, no need to entangle. So the thoughts of the mind are observed, correct? Who is observing the thoughts of the mind? The 𝗲𝗃𝗏 is the Sanskrit term used to describe the witnessing of the variables in the mind. I am confused. I am hungry. I am sad. I am bored. I am divine. I understand. So all these variables of the mind are witnessed by one. Unchanged. The I-ness, the isness. The witness is never witnessed. Who is observing the witness that you are? There is an object, and what reveals it is the subject. For example, bracelet, I, mind, witness. Let's take that train. Are you the bracelet? No, because it is the object of the experience of the eyes. The attributes of the eyes are also variables. They can also go through modification. Age influences sight. Light influences sight. The movement of your eyes influence your sight. So who knows that you can or you cannot see? The mind knows. So now the eyes become the object. Now let's verify if the mind is really the subject. Notice that even the mind is witnessed. The various thoughts and activities of the mind are witnessed. So is the mind then the subject or the object? It is the object, because who or what is the subject or the witness? It's conscious existence. Whatever is trying to witness the witness, that you are. The unchanging. Whatever is going through modification is the object. Are the thoughts in your mind really you? Don't listen for the response from the mind. Just contemplate without any need to answer that question. I would like to go a little bit deeper into the essence of 𝗲𝗃 to establish the right understanding of the seer and the seen. Both theoretically is a procedure to experience it personally and realize beyond all doubts between the seer and the seen your true self, and thereby establishing the supreme truth. From the gross elements to the sense organs, to the genius of the sense organs, to the mind, to the genius of the mind, to the intelligence, to the higher intellect, to the ahamkara, which is the claiming the ego loves to make, the individual ego, and finally rising above the individual ego to the supreme consciousness. This is what is taught in the scripture in a methodical way that is practical in your everyday. I include stories so that the mind gets something from it too, and for the mind to be able to relate. But please know that most of these realizations are beyond the mental realm. This might seem impossible for now, and that's okay. It is perfectly okay if at first there is discomfort around the fact that you do not understand, but somehow you know about the truth. Self-realization is not an intellectual or rational understanding. However, this course does offer a path through that. Just don't limit yourself to try to make sense of the intellectual understanding only, because that is not the purpose.